We're actually working on an iPhone app right now. A friend of ours has been helping us build that. 5blocksout is two people. It's myself and Katrin, and contributions from other folks on and off. So the iPhone app, I'm hoping early next year, and then we need to do a mobile web component as well to go with that. So if all goes well, then by say March, we'll have both those pieces ready to go. Yeah, location's super interesting.
Compare 5blocksout and Foursquare.
Foursquare talks a lot about being a social game. I think that's a little misleading. It's more, I think, about almost creating a log of where you've been in the city. We're thinking more about neighborhoods and all aspects of your neighborhood life, not just what happens after 5 o'clock when you're going out to bars or clubs or restaurants, but what happens during the day when you're at work? What happens when you want to move from one neighborhood to another? How can you find places that are useful to you in many aspects of your everyday life? If I want to find a green butcher, or I want to find a laundromat that's environmentally conscious, this is a tool we think you actually could use to ask that kind of question. So a little bit different focus.
Okay. Questions? Crispy.
Somebody who hasn't asked a question.
Over here.
Somebody up.
Over here.
Dave Coleman.
Love the concept and love the idea of missions. My question is, hopefully you guys are able to scale and you have loads of these different missions going on. Have you put any thought into the discovery process around missions other than just geographically based? So asking people about their interests and their thoughts and trying to really mine all this data and start suggesting missions to people. I love the concepts around, I'm looking to go out on it's a nice spring day, I'm looking to do this and that. I don't just care about doing that in my neighborhood, I care about finding new neighborhoods, etc.
Yeah,
Trains thought into that.
That's a great question. So we're doing all the things you might expect. You can browse missions. Very soon you'll be able to search missions. You can look at other people's profile pages to find missions. But I think what becomes really interesting over time is a mission is collecting data from a lot of people that are the kinds of data you can use to do collaborative filtering, for instance. And so that, I think, is where we want to go next. You have to look at, the missions that interest person A might also interest person B, or the places within them, and use that to infer that something new has come along, you should check this out. That's what we'll be working on actually the next couple of months for mission discovery.
Once you have a Center for Social Innovation there,
Yep.
can you say whether that helped you a lot and say what sort of influence that had on this?
Sure. So we work partly out of home and partly out of the Center for Social Innovation at 215 Spadina. It's, if you don't know about it, basically an incubator for social mission organizations, be they for-profit or not-for-profit. It's been very helpful for us in a couple different ways. One is we're not working at home. We don't lose our minds doing that. The second is you're talking to a lot of different people who think about urban quality of life in the city. Jane's Walk is there. We've also got folks like Mark Kuznicki who are coming at the city from another angle. So there may be easily 5 different partnerships I think we can establish at CSI out of the 100 or so tenants that are in the building. So even if it wasn't just a great place to work, I would want to be there and be part of that network.
Okay, last question. Sure, front row.
Chris, what are your plans to expand to other cities or even just into the 905s?
Plans for expansion geographically. We're treating this sort of like a party. A lot of people doing social networks will try and plaster a very thin veneer over a huge geography and try to then fill that with ads. We're sort of doing the opposite. We want you to walk into the room and feel, hey, there's activity here, there's a fun party to be at, I'm not just the first person in the room. So on that philosophy, we picked a handful of neighborhoods. We call our pilot neighborhoods, where we focus there the most. We have some coverage beyond that to other neighborhoods in Toronto, and then we'll expand within Toronto and yes, to 905. And once we have that working, and people are really engaged, and we can see that, hey, this is a model that could scale up, then we'll think about other cities beyond that. Thanks.
Okay.